transportation options throughout the county. I also head the public transit travel training, as well as manage a group of senior mobility ambassadors that I will cover in a few minutes. I'm also the liaison with a lot of different government agencies and nonprofit organizations and different community groups that also provide services to seniors, veterans, and people with disabilities. The key is to make sure that we all work together within the community to really provide the services and the resources that are needed to the community. I will be sharing some statistics later, and you'll really see the importance of how collaboration will be key. Again, I work with the San Mateo County Transit District. A lot of folks know the transit district as Samtrans, but a lot of people only associate Samtrans as the bus system. So I just want to quickly include what the transit district really does. It not only manages the bus service, it also manages the federally mandated paratransit services, Ready Wheels for the Bay and Ready Coast for the coast side. Now, Caltrain is a rail system, it's a separate agency, but they've also selected the transit district to be the administrative body for their system. Transportation Authority for San Mateo County, every county has one. And what they do is that they actually plan, handle the funding, and they deliver all the transportation programs and projects throughout the county. So although these are all separate agencies, San Mateo County Transit District is actually the entity that administers all the programs. Now today, even though I'm with the transit district, we will not only highlight the public transit services, but also let you know about the travel training services that are available that for some reason a lot of folks are not aware of, and as well as letting you know what all the other transportation resources are within the county. And that includes city-sponsored programs, shuttle services, as well as what's offered by different community groups. And some folks feel that, oh, this information is only good for people who currently don't drive. That's not true. Even if you're still driving, this is great information to have for all those what if moments and for future transition. Because what if you come down with a chronic illness, or you suddenly get injured, or you have surgery, and your ability to drive is immediately affected? And that also holds true if you currently have someone who's providing those rides to you. That person can come down with an illness and may not be able to give you a ride. So it's really, really important to know what all your options are in advance so you're prepared for those what ifs. I'm going to go through some statistics. On a national level, these statistics shock a lot of people. 10,000 people in the US turn age 65 every day. That means 1 in every 8 seconds, and this trend will continue through 2030. By 2030, all baby boomers will be age 65 plus. And that means 1 in every 5 residents in the US will be retirement age. 20% of those are what's known as solo agers, living alone without nearby friends or family as a support system. And this number is expected to grow. Now, 46% of women age 75 plus live alone. And an increasing number of retirees live in areas where they're stranded by geography, which means they're living in areas with low resources and low support. Now, on a more local level, San Mateo County, ages 65 to 74, that group is expected to increase by 53% by year 2030. In the category of 75 to 84, up 71% by year 2030. And age 85 plus, we're living longer, right? Up 148% by year 2030. So all these statistics is to show how important it is for all the different entities, public, private, to all work together to provide the needed resources for the aging population. And especially crucial for each one of us as individuals to know as individuals what the options are to take care of ourselves. Now, the DMV also has statistics on elderly drivers. There's a proactive group, those who are very proactive in finding out in advance what all the resources are and are prepared for the what ifs and for future transitions. So you can transition and plan to quit driving on your own because you know what the resources are that are available to you. Then there's a group who are reluctant acceptors. They understand, they have an idea, but they're kind of slow to transition. And they're the resistors. And I tend to find that the older we get, the more resistant we tend to get, right? This is the group who are a bit unrealistic about their driving abilities. And they continue to drive with deteriorating health, bad vision, slow reflexes, cognitive problems. And this is a group that leads to higher accident rates. And we all know that when there's an accident, we're not only affecting ourselves, it's other people. So be very honest with yourself and your loved one. Which category are you in? And hopefully, with all of you being here, I will categorize you as being in the proactive group. So today we're going to cover all of these different categories: public, paratransit, local shuttles, what's offered by senior centers, city sponsor programs, community service, as well as private services. Because I like to tell people that it's not one or the other, or one or nothing. It is often a combination of different resources that will suit the different needs for different situations. It could be different times of the day, depending on where you are and where you need to go. You may need a combination of these different resources. Okay, so first we're going to go through public transit very quickly. Samtrans is known as a fixed route bus service. It's fixed route because it has designated bus stops, a route that they have to adhere to, and a designated schedule that they need to adhere to. It covers throughout the San Mateo County. It goes into parts of San Francisco that kind of borders the county, and then parts of Palo Alto that borders the county, such as the VA and the Stanford Medical Clinics, because so many people go to those places. Currently, there's 72 routes. Ride Plus Micro Transit, I'll cover a little bit later. Brand new, we just launched it June of last year. It serves 2 underserved communities, Half Moon Bay and East Palo Alto. If you have never taken the bus or haven't taken it for a long time, you may be surprised at some of the features that all the different transit systems have now. There are a lot of assistive features. So people on mobility devices, people in wheelchairs can take the bus. First is the kneel feature. They call it kneel because with a push of the button by the bus driver, the front of the bus will lower about 6 inches, so it kneels, making it easier for the passenger to get onto the bus on the first step. And if that doesn't work, simply by request, you can ask the bus operator to lower the ramp with the lift. It will take the passenger all the way from the curb up to the top of the steps. Okay, you don't have to be in a wheelchair or a walker to ask for that. You can just ask for that. Okay. There's also priority seating. The front side facing and the 2 frontmost forward seats are allocated for the seniors as well as those who need those seats. Now, wheelchair securement areas are 2. That's the front side areas where the seats will fold up. The bus operator will help the passenger in a wheelchair secure the wheelchair to the railing as well as a seat belt. Now, for those who are either visually impaired or hearing impaired, there are audio and visual guides. There's an audio announcement outside at the bus stops to make sure you get on the right bus. And also inside the bus so you can hear what the next stops are. For those who are hearing impaired, of course, there are electronic display signs on the outside of the bus as well as inside of the bus. Now, I briefly mentioned about Ride Plus, the microtransit program. This was launched June of last year. It serves 2 zones, and these are 2 zones that are considered underserved. They have very few options. East Palo Alto Bellhaven neighborhood of Menlo Park. It goes from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Half Moon Bay, El Granada from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's on demand. It's like a taxi service within the service area. You can book the rides through the app, through the website, or simply by making a call. And you can book those rides up to 7 days in advance. It was for the promotional period, free through December of last year. Right now, the cost is same as a Samtrans ride. Okay, so if you or someone you know live in those areas, make sure they know about the Ride Plus program. Now, Caltrain is the other public transit for San Mateo County. It's, of course, the train, the rail service. It goes all the way down to 4th Street, San Francisco, to through San Jose. Currently, there are 31 total stations. 28 of those are daily service stations. 2 are weekends only, 1 football games only, that's Stanford. It connects with BART and Millbrae. Millbrae is kind of the hub for transit. Very excited about Caltrain's electric trains being launched September of this year. There's been some changes in service with the rail system because they're in preparation and in getting all the tracks and everything in preparation for launching the electric trains. The electric trains will be faster and more efficient. So once this is launched, the time it takes from one destination to another will be shorter. And because of that, the service will also be more frequent. There was an open house for the public to see the new electric train in San Francisco, September last year. They're planning for another open house for San Mateo County, probably sometime late 1st quarter or 2nd quarter of this year. I'm sure it'll be announced on the news or in the San Mateo Daily Journal. So be on the lookout on that if you'd like to see that as well. Now, the train also have assistive features. So yellow strips to indicate the edge of the platform. You can see by the photos there to make sure that, especially at nighttime, right, people don't get too close to the edge of the platform. Raised bumps and the tactile strips guide those who may be visually impaired to ticket machines and passenger assistance areas. These are the same as those that are at the edge of sidewalks. Tag on and tag off machines on the train. If you use Clipper, you need to tag on and tag off. Those machines have a low beep. And a lot of people think that, oh, that just means it's working. It's actually to guide those who are visually impaired to those machines so they can tag on and tag off. Now, as you can see, there are also these blue squares on the platform. That's for any passenger that may need some assistance from the conductor. When the trains approach a platform, conductors will look for any passenger who are at those blue squares and know to come out and assist those riders. Wheelchair cars are usually the second car from the north. And again, they have the international handicap sign right there. Okay. Now, I mentioned briefly the San Mateo County Transit District actually offers public transit travel training. I actually manage that program. We understand that if you've never taken the bus or the train, or it's been a while, there might be some anxiety about, oh, I don't know how to how to plan a trip. I don't know how to connect from one system to another system, and you may not do it because of that. So we offer a service, whether it's one-on-one or a small group, such as a couple, where we'll show you how to plan a trip, how to read the schedule, how to connect from one bus to another, or from a bus to a train, or from a bus to BART. And if you need, we have trained mobility ambassadors who will take you on the trip and ride along with you, so you feel confident on how to do it safely and confidently. So you can use public transit as a mode of transportation when it's right for you. So you're interested in that. At the end, I have the contact phone number for you to contact to get more information on that as well. The mobility ambassadors are all volunteers. I manage this pool of volunteers myself. Most of them are also seniors. And they're super passionate about helping others in learning how to ride public transit and use it as a viable means of transportation. Okay, they've been extensively screened and comprehensively trained to help others. They assist with also senior Clipper card applications. We work with Clipper to help seniors and veterans applied to get Clipper. That's the easiest way to take public transit. And they also assist us as an on-site resource at senior centers, event, and community centers. Now, we're constantly recruiting as well. So if you or someone you know may be interested in becoming a volunteer mobility ambassador, please contact us. Knowledge on how to ride public transit is not a requirement. The key requirement is passion on helping others. So let me know if any of you may be interested in that. Now, paratransit is also under the transit district. It is a federally mandated service to provide mobility transportation to people with disabilities who can't use conventional fixed route transit service due to the ADA Act. The bay side is called the Ready Wheel service. The coast side is the Ready Coast service. There is no age or income requirement. A lot of people tend to think that there is an income requirement or age requirement. There is none. The only requirement is a certifiable disability, because this is a program for people with disabilities. Okay. And the service can be provided for any type of trip. It's not just for medical. It could go to shopping, to social events. So one just need to be qualified with a certifiable disability, and then you must pre-schedule the trip. Now I'm going to go into shuttle services. Commute.org. I want to bring this out because although this is a service mainly for workers during commute hours, it is open to the public and it is wheelchair accessible. So I want to bring this to folks' attention because they also stop at a lot of medical clinics and medical centers. So if you happen to be going to a medical clinic or medical center and it's during commute hours, which are earlier in the day, commute hours, and then later in the afternoon, and if those shuttle stops are convenient to you, you can hop right on. Great thing about these shuttles is that they're also wheelchair accessible. Some examples of some of these shuttle routes: Daly City Seton Shuttle makes stops at Seton medical offices and medical center because they have a lot of workers, right? Millbrae Burlingame Commuter Shuttle stops at Mills Peninsula Health Services. Willow Road Shuttle stops at Millow Medical Clinic as well as the VA Medical Center. So these are just some examples of the different shuttle services that are provided by commute.org that could be an option for you. Now, there are also city programs. So anyone who lives in Coma, they just launched in October their Cab Connect program. Now, for any city sponsored programs, first you must be a resident of that city, and they all have age requirements. For the Coma Cab Connect, it's a taxi voucher program. And taxi voucher programs pretty much all work the same. They all contract with Sarah Yellow Cabs because that's the only taxi company that has wheelchair accessible vehicles. You must show proof that you're a resident of the city, and then you meet their age requirement. And once you meet those requirements, they have you register as a user. They will provide you with a card. You will get 8 subsidized one-way trips, and they all have a designated service area. For Coma is Coma, Daly City, South San Francisco, Pacifica, and San Bruno. They will give you that information once you register. And if you travel within their designated service area, your share of cost is only $5, and the taxi company bills the city for the remainder. Okay, if you go above their service area, then you just have to pay the balance. Menlo Park also has 2 different types of shuttle services, and the wheelchair accessible vehicles. They have a crosstown shuttle and a shopper shuttle. So if you live in Menlo Park, you should check out their services. City of San Mateo has a program called Get Around. It is also a taxi voucher program using Sarah Yellow Cabs. Again, city-sponsored program. You must be a resident of San Mateo, and their age requirement is 60 and above. So again, 8 monthly subsidized one-way trips, $5 per ride, and I've listed there what their designated service area is. South San Francisco also has a shuttle. It's a free service to the general public. So if you can be a visitor, a resident, or a worker there, Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the shuttle goes to local stores, the senior center, the library, city hall, and parks. And it also connects with Samtrans and BART. Now, there's some senior centers that also provide transportation. If you're in Pacifica, Pacifica Senior Centers has a program called Connect a Ride, also a taxi voucher program, again, using Sarah Yellow Cabs, must be a resident of Pacifica. Their age requirement is 65 and above. Again, 8 one-way trips, $5 per trip. And I've listed there what their designated service area is. For those on the coast side, Senior Coastsiders provides transportation. Their age requirement is 60 and above, to and from the center. And they also have a weekday service to and from a local store for grocery shopping. For them, it's a suggested donation of $2 round trip. East Palo Alto Senior Center has a lunch and transportation program. And this program's goal is to get seniors out of the house and to the center to participate in activities and have a nutritious lunch. So seniors who sign up for this program are picked up in the morning to participate in activities, enjoy lunch, and then they're taken home. Redwood City's Veteran Memorial Senior Center also has a program. It's currently on hold. Last time we talked to them, they said they're in the process of getting new drivers. So if you're in the Redwood City area, definitely give the Veterans Memorial Senior Center a call and find out when that program is coming back again. Now, there are also community programs. So for those who are in southern part of the county, Avenidas Door to Door may be a program for you. How their program works is that they use volunteers or staff for under 10 miles at $5 or $10 per ride, depending on distance. If over 10 miles, they actually will coordinate a Lyft ride for you, and it's whatever the Lyft charges are, plus a $5 service fee for coordinating that for you. And I've listed there what their service area is. El Camino Hospital has a program called Road Runners, and you don't need to be affiliated with El Camino Health to use this program because it's run by the auxiliary group. The volunteers or their staff, again, handle rides under 10 miles. The cost is based on distance. So give them a call if this pertains to you. And they also use Lyft for 10 or more miles, and is the Lyft charge plus a $3 service fee for doing the coordination. In both of these programs, if it's Lyft that's used, what they do is invoice you monthly for whatever the Lyft charges are, plus their service fee for the coordination. The drawback to these services is because using volunteer staff vehicles and the Lyft platform is that these are private vehicles that are not wheelchair accessible. So if someone uses a wheelchair, these will not fit their needs. Now you're in San Carlos, Belmont, and Redwood City. FISH is an interesting program. These are actually volunteers from churches in the local community, and they focus in providing transportation to those who don't have another way to get to medical appointments. Now, the next one is Get Up and Go from the Peninsula Jewish Community Center. It is the most expansive program. You don't need to be affiliated with PJCC. The age requirement is also the lowest. It's only age 50 and above. They cover most of San Mateo County. The only area they don't cover is the coast side. They also take the passengers to Palo Alto VA Hospital, Palo Alto Medical Foundation, as well as Stanford hospitals and clinics, and they operate Mondays to Fridays and wheelchair accessible. Ride PVI is also a pretty comprehensive program. It's Peninsula Volunteers, Inc. They serve most of San Mateo County. They cover the coast side from Half Moon Bay all the way up north to Daly City and to Menlo Park in the south. What they do is that they don't have their own vehicles. They will arrange for Lyft or Uber to provide the transportation. Depending on where you live and where you go, is either no cost or low cost. Now, because they use Lyft, which are private vehicles, it's not wheelchair accessible. Now, the villages, I bring this up because this could be a very viable option for a lot of seniors. It is based on the village-to-village network model, whereas seniors from local communities form membership-based groups, what they call villages, that offer a wide range of supportive services and programs, which includes transportation to help one another age in place. So different cities and different areas have formed their own village. So live in Brisbane, there's a Brisbane village, Foster City has a village, and then Mid-Peninsula covers from San Bruno down to San Mateo and Hillsborough. Sequoia covers Belmont to Redwood City, and then Coastside, of course, is the Coastside area. This is a very interesting model. Membership will provide a lot of other services as well as programs. So it's worth checking into to see whether or not this is a right program for you. For those who are veterans, we really want to highlight that in addition to all the other services, there are also veteran transportation services. So this one is called VTS, SFVA, and then also the Palo Alto VA, each have their own system. So I have information here, and then I will also give you information on how to get a senior mobility guide that lists all these information in detail. The second one is a Disabled American Veterans Program, and then there's also a travel pay reimbursement program. Now we cover public transit, shuttles, city-sponsored programs, senior center programs, community programs, but sometimes depending on where you're at, day of the week, time of the day, none of those may work for you. So we also included some information to private services in case that may be the only option. Now, we highlighted these because these have either special service or their drivers a special training to assist seniors and those with disabilities. Okay. GoGo Grandparent is a very interesting program. So there's, transportation options and delivery services such as Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, but they all involve with downloading the platform and being able to use the platform, right? A lot of seniors I talked to said, oh, I don't want to download anything. Technology scares me. But those are great services. So GoGo Grandparents, kind of that go-between. They will coordinate it all for you with all these different partners and services. So they can not only just schedule rides, they can arrange for groceries to be delivered, household supplies, pick up and deliver prescriptions, meals. So they'll do all the arrangement. It's membership based. They have different membership plans. So give them a call, or if you're not leery about going online, go online and see what membership plans there are and see if this is a plan for you. We have different people have used the services and said this has been a lifesaver. I have a couple where in their 80s, they don't have family close by, the husband has dementia, she couldn't leave him alone, and this service was a lifesaver to them to be able to arrange for transportation and pick up medications and groceries and meals and etc. So it just depends on whether or not this is something that would be a resource and works for you. Silver Ride is more than just a taxi service. We highlight them here because their drivers have training to provide enhanced services and have training on how to be empathetic and service the needs of seniors and those who have mobility challenges, such as how to get them in and out of vehicles safely and to be empathetic of their needs. They also have a service where not only transportation, you can also hire their drivers to be private attendants. So a lot of transportation services are curb to curb. So they'll drop you off at the curb. Well, what if you just had surgery, you're in a wheelchair, you're on crutches, and you need some assistance from the curb to like the doctor's office or where your final destination is. If you try to hire a private attendant, they're high in demand. Most agencies require at least a minimum of 4 hours. Most agencies I know require minimum of 8 hours. If it's under 8 hours, the hourly rate is usually pretty high. So if you need that additional assistance to get from the curb to your final destination, Silver Ride might be a really nice option for you because the driver, in addition to driving you to where you need to go, they can also provide their service on an hourly basis to get you to your final destination, such as from the curb to your doctor's office or to the grocery store. Or I know of a senior who said, she hired the service to take her to a granddaughter's wedding. So it's just one of those things that where other services don't work, this may be a really nice resource. I also highlighted Sarah Yellow Cabs here because they're the only taxi service in the area that has wheelchair accessible vehicles. When you call, tell them in advance you need wheelchair accessible vehicles because not all taxi vehicles are wheelchair accessible. So make sure they know that. Additional resources, the Senior Mobility Guide. We just updated this guide. It's all available. We've dropped off copies at community centers, senior centers, rec centers. We will be dropping them off at all the libraries, but you can just call Samtrans and our customer service line to have a copy mailed to you. Now, we are currently getting this translated into Chinese and Spanish. We anticipate these issues to be available around February. So if you or someone you know will prefer those languages, around February, we will be delivering those to all the community centers, senior centers, and rec centers, and libraries as well. Or call Samtrans, and we can have copies mailed to the individuals. PeninsulaRise.com is the online version of the printed senior mobility guide. So instead of flipping the pages to find the different resources, you can just use the Find Your Ride tool and enter the starting location and where you want to go, and it'll answer some questions such as, do you need wheelchair access? Can you pay a fare? Things like that, and it'll bring up the resources that meet those criteria. Okay, and last but not least, our customer service line. They're open 7 days a week, including weekends and the holidays. They're just a wonderful group of service representatives that can answer all sorts of questions. If you say, I don't have the latest bus schedule, I want to know what bus I take, when's the next bus, where's the closest bus stop to me, they'll answer all those questions, as well as print out how you can take that trip and mail it to you. You can request for a copy of the Senior Mobility Guide, ask them to send it to you by mail, and just a wonderful group of folks who know answers to almost everything. And this pertains to both Samtrans and Caltrain. Now, my contact information is at the bottom. If you're interested in public transit travel training, such as learning how to ride the bus or the train, I'm the contact for that. If you're interested in becoming a mobility ambassador, I'm especially in need of Spanish-speaking mobility ambassadors. So if there's any interest in that, please connect with me. I'll be really excited in chatting with you. And with that, I'll open it up for questions. And if there are no questions, that's fine too. Tina, is there a way for me to share this presentation if folks need it?
Yes, please. Can you share it with me? Okay. I can send it to the distribution. And thank you so much, Margaret. This has been wonderful resources.
Sure. I see a hand up from Ruth.
Okay.
Yes, I live in Woodside, and I have a Clipper card, but I also have some preloaded cards from prior to the pandemic that need to be converted to a Clipper card. And I was told that I had to go all the way to Hayward to some office in order to do that. And that's pretty challenging.
So is all Clipper? All your prior things are Clipper?
No,
yeah,
some of them are pre-Clipper, little,
Clipper meaning Samtrans tickets, or what do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, BART tickets.
Oh, BART tickets. Yeah, BART is a separate agency. So you need to go to BART because they're no longer accepting paper tickets. So you have to take all those paper tickets into, I guess, a BART, I don't know, wherever their designated places for you to convert all the funds from paper tickets either onto Clipper or into a BART card. Yeah, so that's unfortunately a BART question.
Okay.
I have a question. When you were talking about the services from Avenidas, now Little House in Menlo Park has, at least they did, I think, a service that you could call them and they would get a Lyft rider to come.
That's PVI. Little House is part of a PVI.
So when I would be calling Little House to ask for a Lyft, because before they didn't have a service fee to do it, and they had a lower price. I don't know if PVI has changed that or not.
Yeah, so that's the PVI is based on where you live. So pickup point and destination point. So that's a question directly to PVI, and they do use Lyft. So PVI is Peninsula Volunteers, Inc., and Little House is part of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So do you have a copy of the latest issue of the Senior Mobility Guide? Definitely encourage all of you to obtain a copy. So either pick up one from a senior center, community center, or rec center, or library if that's convenient to you. If not, call the customer service phone number that's on the screen and ask for a copy to be mailed to you. And you can reference everything I talked about today. It's listed in detail in the Senior Mobility Guide with phone numbers and that type of information. So definitely get a copy. And whatever service that you are eligible for, either as a resident of that area or age requirement, I strongly encourage everyone to pre-register for those services. So then you have that taken care of. So when you need the service, you don't have to go through the registration process. You just call and get the service. Because when you need the service, you may be because due to chronic illness or injury or surgery, you may not be in the right mindset to go through the registration and the inquiry process at that time. So go through the process now, register for the services that you're eligible for now, so you're all set. And when you need the services, you just call for service. You don't have to go through the registration and the inquiry process.
Where do you go to get more money on your Clipper card now?
To load the Clipper card, Clipper has contract with Walgreens. So pretty much all the Walgreens has that. If you have access to go online, they actually list all the locations by city. 511.org is also a really good resource website, but Clipper lists all those on the Clipper website as well, but pretty much all the Walgreens. Where do you live? What city do you live in?
Belmont.
Belmont. Okay.
Well, I've loaded on at Walgreens in San Carlos. And
Yeah, and you can, if San Carlos isn't too far from you, the Samtrans head office is on San Carlos Avenue. You can also load at our ticket window.
When are you moving from San Carlos?
Not until like 12 or 15 months from now to Millbrae.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. So you already come to San Carlos to
Oh, yes.
Walgreens? You can come to Samtrans as well. It's, like Laurel and San Carlos Avenue.
That's where I always used to go, but I thought you'd already moved.
Oh, no, not until like 12 or 15 months from now.
And I think Whole Foods.
Whole Foods in San Mateo, yes.
I think Redwood City, I think also can add on.
Oh, okay, I'm not sure about that.
I haven't tried it, but I remember hearing or being told that
But
was.
you know what? You can call our customer service line too. They know all the locations by heart.
I thought I did it online.
You can also do it online by credit card. Yes. If you don't mind going online, yes, a lot of services are available online.
Okay. Yeah, I think my Clipper card, I just do it online.
Oh, yes, you can do it online. We don't mind going online.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I really hope that this has been helpful. Please get a Senior Mobility Guide to have on hand and reference, and please take action in registering for programs. I will email a copy of today's presentation to Tina, and she'll get it out to all of you who want a copy. And you have my information as well, online, and please contact me if I can be a resource to you.
Thank
Okay.
you, Margaret.
Thank you,
So
everyone. Have
appreciative.
a great day.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
Thank you.